Welcome everyone to Kittredge Field in Boulder, Colorado, as the Colorado Women's Club Soccer Silver Team takes on the Air Force Falcons. I'm Harrison Simeon, joined by Ryan Asaro here in Boulder as we are underway. Buffs looking to get off to a hot start. Only match this season so far for the Silver Team, a draw with Team Black last weekend. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good. How are you, Harrison?
I'm good. What you thinking of this atmosphere? You were here for running the camera as we saw the men's goal team take down Colorado College, and just now that you've had some time to take everything in, how are you feeling?
Yeah, switched from camera to color commentary. This is my first time doing this, so apologies to anyone if this isn't the best, but I'm going to try and do my best out here and give it all I got. But yeah, great atmosphere. A little less fans than last time, but still a good show out, especially for women's sports, which is always awesome. Really looking forward to this one. Obviously, two Colorado schools going at it. How can you not like that?
So Air Force fighting for possession here, and us will take this one away. Our first women's club soccer broadcast is Ryan tried to get to that ball at color, couldn't quite get to it. But we should have a good one in store. It's Taya Lita throwing that one in for CU. One of the many freshmen on the squad. That one over to the far side. Down the wing to, I believe, it's number 19. No 19 listed on this roster, so we'll let it play out and we'll see, figure out who that is. But Renee Rogers, freshman defenseman, will throw this one in. The Air Force Falcons started their season with a 3-0 win over New Mexico and played the University of Colorado Springs last night. Not sure of the results of that, but they'll stick around in Boulder and face the Gold Team just a week from tomorrow. And then later in the season, they'll face Team Black on October 27th. For Colorado, they had a pretty streaky up and down season. 7 wins, 6 losses, and a draw. Haven't faced Air Force in the past few years in the Rocky Mountain Collegiate League. And had some time spent in the Aztec Cup, though faced their worst losses of the year. That kind of put a dent in their goal differential. A 6-1 loss to Arizona State, and then to Arizona 7-0. But they had a 7-0 win over Wyoming just after that. So last season was a little bit up and down for the Falcons. It wasn't the greatest, just 2 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws. Though we're in plenty of the games they played, just 2 losses separated by 2 or more goals, both of which were against the Colorado State Gold Team. Air Force trying to make a play as Buffs put a long ball down into the midfield. That was looking for Jacqueline Demers, a senior. That was Jenna Reed over to her teammate, but taken away by the Falcons. One of Air Force's 2 wins was at this very field in the CU Invitational against Nebraska. So they're used to this field. They were able to take down the Cornhuskers for one of their 2 wins last season, their other of which coming in a 5-1 victory over Colorado Mesa to end 2023's regular season. What are you looking for, Ryan, today, just between the 2 sides? What kind of aspects of the game do you think could be a factor?
Well, obviously you want to get off to a pretty aggressive start. especially in this heat. Eventually, as we saw in the last game before this, the players got tired towards the end, and you don't want to have to be trying to climb your way back up, especially if you get down early. So obviously for CU, trying to get off to a good start, maybe score a goal here within the first 20 minutes or so before some exhaustion and whatnot kicks in. Then obviously for Air Force, the same thing. Obviously they're not considered on the same level as CU in terms of record-wise last year, but they're looking to turn it around this year. So try and be aggressive, play for some loose balls, and maybe force some turnovers that can get you opportunities for some good shots.
That's Tialita passing that one back to Adeline Obert. Adelaide Obert, rather. As the Buffs look to get things started, they were the 2023 Rocky Mountain Collegiate Soccer League champions. So, have some experience at the top, despite being one of 3 club soccer teams for Colorado on the women's side. They did average 2 goals a match last season, but that number ticked up a little bit to 2.4 when playing on home soil. While the Buffs did have their fair share of losses last year, just 2 of them also coming by more than 2 goals. But both those aforementioned losses to Arizona State and Arizona being them. For the Falcons, they averaged 1.5 goals a match last season, but conceded 2.5. Their defense was a bit of a struggle. Failed to have a clean sheet all season. Goal kick by the Falcons. I believe that is Caroline back there in goal for the Falcons. They push this one down our far side. Number 17 pirouettes out of danger, but turned over. Back to Jane Pittner. Just about 8 minutes into this contest. And now a turnover. Chased down from Lauren Pecos. She fends off the defense by the Falcons and puts it back out for this ball in. Can't find anybody.
And that was great recovery, Harrison, by Air Force there. Easy breakaway and great effort by the defenders there to make sure that that did not become an easy goal for CU.
In goal today for the Buffs is Ruby Holmes, a freshman from Santa Cruz, California. Morgan Taylor, Adelaide Olbert, Renee Rogers, Tialita, also Kaylee Walsh, Lauren Pecos, Jane Pittner, Jackie, can't find Jacqueline Demers. Also making up the starters, along with Jenna Reed and Marley Winston. As a throw in, looking for Demers, is tapped away back to the back line of Colorado. Obert over to Taylor. And there's a nice little ball, but can't quite get played well enough by Reed. 10 minutes in, still no great chances for either side. What do you think could be the difference today in terms of generating chances?
Well, obviously, soccer in general is usually somewhat of a slow game, so it's probably not gonna be immediate goals as we've seen so far. 10 minutes in,
There's a
as
nice
Air
through
Force
ball.
tries to capitalize here.
Through ball for the Falcons. Tapped around, but touch can't quite get past Ruby Holmes as the freshman takes care of that one.
But going back to your question, Harrison, I mean, obviously it's just going to take, great passing, great space, and, trying to force turnovers when in the opposing team's zones. That always ends up doing well for other teams, capitalizing and whatnot. But yeah, main thing is going to be passing, trying to force good shots. Don't want to obviously take shots that are too far or just not a great angle here, especially in the heat and whatnot. You get too exhausted. But yeah.
83 degrees and extremely sunny skies, not a cloud in sight. Though there is a nice little 8-mile-per-hour breeze, possibly taking some of the heat off the Buffs and Falcons and us here. Happy to have our first broadcast with a tent outside. That's always nice. Lita in a lot of space, but a ball right towards our Scope Us cameramen and Aspen and Remy. Nice little crew and crowd out here for women's club action. Throw in for the Falcons, but to the Buffs. As they'll look to push this one down our far side. Along the wing, but back to the Falcons now. Regionally, the Buffs silver team ranks last of Colorado's 3 teams, coming in at 15. And with the Air Force Falcons coming in at 12, but all 3 teams are placed as that shot by the Falcon attacker goes wide of the net. So CU's gold team ranks number 4 and the black team at number 9. For the silver, they'll look to creep up in the rankings with a win here today over at least according to the rankings, a superior opponent. Stolen in the midfield. Nice play from Cameron Duty. Ball out wide for the Falcons as they look to piece together something. No shots on net for either side as we're about to hit the 15-minute mark. Throw in coming for Air Force. And looks like it may be a corner kick here. Opportunity for the Falcons. A little bit hard to see under the net, or under the tent. Corner in, taken on the ground and cleared away by CU. Back to the Falcons, though, as they work across that far side. Looking to maintain control. Buffs looking to disrupt. They will. Another substitution coming in for Air Force. And now, disruption, and it'll go the way of the Buffs. As we love to talk about the in-state opponents all these teams are facing today, we're certainly highly anticipating the Rocky Mountain Showdown tonight between the football team and Colorado State in Fort Collins. We have two SCO Buffs correspondents out there, Patrick and Roberto. They'll do what they can in the very seemingly limited spots in the press box. We'll have all that coverage for you on our social media platforms, as well as this game and the next, which will be CU Team Black taking on Colorado Mesa. CU trying to force a turnover here in their attacking third, but fended away, number 14 of the Falcons. Ball back to CU's own corner has to just be cleared out of bounds. So a favorable spot for a Colorado throw-in here. Buffs coached by Emily Ramos and Aaron Ropke, looking to establish some presence and maybe bring back the regional championship or the league championship as they did in 2023. Now here's a nice little cross just out of the reach of the keeper, but couldn't find anyone in net or in the box to put that one in the back of the net. Was looking for Sarah Nehart. That one taken away off the goal kick. Buffs looking for a cross here near the near post. Here's an opportunity. But that one fended away, deflected out of bounds for Colorado corner. Any thoughts on how the Buffs can maybe get on the board after almost through 20 minutes scoreless?
Yeah, I mean, obviously no goals yet, but they've been moving the ball to the center, which is obviously really positive, especially in the game of soccer. That's where you're going to see a lot of lanes open up and a lot of good-looking shots as they go for the corner here. But, I mean, they just got to keep moving the ball. Hopefully, eventually, you'll see a defender for Air Force make a mistake and leave something open, and then you can get a nice look. But, I mean, they had a shot earlier that was nice. A couple so far that, they've kind of missed on handling it, but yeah, hopefully, they can just keep going, keep attacking the middle, and then hopefully find a lane or a nice-looking shot that they can capitalize on.
Third straight corner now coming from Nehart, as the first one was resulted in a shot by Adelaide Obert. That one to the far post, over the way, and back to Obert, who is blocked by the Falcons. CU maintaining control. Definitely winning the possession battle as we reach the 20-minute mark of this contest. That one trying to center it by Nehart. Looking to cross this one in. And stuffed And it will be another corner, I believe. It will be. This time from our near side. Corner in and off the chest of Air Force keep. And it's a goal! A deflected around, batted around. What a deflection that results in Colorado taking the lead. Not quite sure who got the foot on it that completed it. A little bit of a chaotic play. But regardless, the Buffs take the lead 1-0 over the Falcons.
And that was a beautiful corner there. Obviously, as we talked about a little bit earlier, just putting the ball in the middle will always lead to good things. I know in my time playing youth soccer, that was always what I was taught. And obviously right there, you get a nice deflection, the ball bounces your way, and you put it in the back of the net.
Here's a shot, and mishandled a bit, but eventually recovered. Good effort there from, I believe that was Reese Dolly. But Colorado with a 1-0 advantage. And as their hard work on the attacking third of the field has paid off. A little bit similar to how the men's gold team got on the board, just about the same time in the game, just about 20 minutes in, and a corner from the near side found its way into the net. So we'll definitely go during halftime and be able to attribute that goal. Buffs with numbers. That one, a breakaway opportunity. And the Buffs score! Isabella Boomin booms it to the back of the net. And it's 2-0. Thoughts on that goal?
That was an awesome shot. I mean, puts it top left where, as we used to say in high school, where the kids can't touch the cookies on the top shelf. But that was a nice shot. Goalie obviously can't make a play on that where the ball's placed. But more importantly, a beautiful pass to get it to the center there to where they can open up a nice shot. I'm not exactly sure who made that pass, but that was a very nice pass that led to, obviously, an amazing shot. The ball comes
I believe it was Taylor Southey centering that ball for Boomin, the junior from Castle Rock, Colorado, to connect. Air Force's keeper had no chance to get to that one. Had a hand on it, but just too much on it for any chance of a stop to be made. Buffs quickly getting 2 goals in succession, and now we're up to a dominant 2-0 lead. Kira Simmons doing some work in the midfield. Get this one to Lita, to our near side, but just dump it down for the Falcons to try to get out of their own end. And now a turnover, another shot, and it's in! Just like that, it's 3-0. Oh, but it offsides. That was Taylor Southey. We'll see what they rule it. And it is a goal. There's a little bit of confusion on Air Force's part. Another turnover in their own end results in a Colorado goal. So 3-0 just like that. Southie with the assist earlier, and now a goal. Freshman from Manhattan Beach, or wait, yeah, freshman from Manhattan Beach, California. Did you quite see what happened there in the turnover? I was just kind of looking down, and all of a sudden, Southie had that ball right in front of net.
Yeah, it seemed like a mental error by one of the Air Force defenders. Just kind of lost track of where she was and didn't realize that there was a Colorado attacker right next to her who stole the ball and then obviously capitalized on an easy shot there. But, you know, if Air Force wants to try and make a comeback in this game, it's going to first start with their defense. They're going to have to play a little tighter. They're opening a little too many lanes for good-looking shots for CU. And then obviously mental errors. You can't be turning the ball over on your own side of the field. So, yeah, I mean, that's where it's going to have to start for them.
So that time an offsides called against Colorado as Air Force will take it back, but then another turnover. Really good high press that we saw from all these Colorado teams. We've seen instant aggression and fast pace, and it's resulted in some really good results as Air Force tries to chip this one over the back line of CU, number 26 of the Falcons. Working on Simmons. Simmons will stuff this one, and Lita tries and was able to block it away. And appears to be a timeout on the field now. Colorado started a little slow, but once they figured out the Falcon attack, they took advantage. It's 3-0 early here at Kitt Field, and we'll take a quick break for this timeout. So we're back after the brief timeout. Just for every one of us here, grab some water, stay hydrated. The heat definitely being a factor today. Colorado Silver leads Air Force 3-0 here with just under 20 to go in the first half. It'll be a throw-in coming for the Falcons as they try to get on the board, try to inch their way back into it. Still plenty of time to go. As the throw-in, battered around. Now we'll remain with the Falcons for this cross that is disrupted by Lita. And now back to trying to get it back to the top of the box. But away to Southie. freshman who has an assist and a goal so far.
And that was great help defense there. Something I've noticed between the two teams that's a little different. Air Force really struggling to, decide when to help and when not to, which has opened up a lot of lanes and good-looking shots for CU. Whereas CU's defense, when Air Force has been on their side of the field, really just collapse on the ball, kind of almost suffocate the person who's trying to create a opportunity either to pass or take a shot. It's really just been disruptive to their whole offensive set so far here.
So yeah, I mean, just like our last game we were at and so many other things, and the phrase goes, communication is truly key. And right now the Buffs, that communication has paid off into 3 goals. Falcons had a decent bit of the possession, but just haven't been able to maintain it, piece any sort of good looks together. No shots on goal so far. Have a few shots as the Buffs try to gain control in the attacking third here. Nehart has her pass deflected down towards the corner, and it'll go out for throw-in all the way back at the farthest point of the field that we could be at right now. Buffs trying to press high, getting another favorable spot that's gotten them most of their goals so far today. But now a turnover near the midfield, a battle for possession, and it'll go the way of the Falcons.
A really smart play there, not to try and, get the ball and create a turnover, rather just kind of poke it out and live to see another day, as the defender there for CU made a great tap out to force a throw-in, which then has now led to the ball being forced all the way back to Air Force side of the field.
Yeah, and that was Kira Simmons who started that little sequence from a freshman defender from Weston, Florida. Buffs with a throw-in coming. Lita looking to maybe push this one all the way into the box. Headed around, and Falcons take over. Really trying to press this counterattack that needs to be at emphasis for the Falcons to really get some of these goals going. Falcon working on Adelaide Obert, who fends it out of bounds. So Ryan, what do you think Air Force needs to do to get back in this game? And it's still early. Big advantage for CU though. So what do you think needs to be better for the Falcons right now?
Well, obviously you're down 3-0 with about 15-ish minutes left to play here in the first half. And, scoring a goal is not going to earn you all 3 of your goals back. So you're just going to have to take it one at a time. But more importantly, when they're on the side of CU here, setting up offensive sets and whatnot, they need to be way more aggressive. And like CU's been doing, they need to force it more into the middle. All the shots they've gotten, a lot of the offensive sets they're trying to set up it up from weird angles where really it's a really difficult shot if you're trying to get it in. Whereas if they force it to the middle here, they might find some better looks and put the goalie under a little more pressure.
Yeah, it's been pretty smooth sailing for Buff keeper Ruby Holmes right now. Many freshmen on this team. Some influx of youth for Boulder. Feels like almost everyone I've mentioned today is a freshman. Falcons looking for something. That one pushed back towards their own net. Cross in and go out of bounds, but a corner awarded to CU. Sarah Nehart to take it. The junior from San Diego, California, puts this one in. Pretty good ball, but deflected out by the Falcons. Back line extremely high for CU right now. Got to be wary of the counter. But they're able to maintain possession. Just have controlled pretty much every facet of this game to this point. It's a long ball, looking for the wing, but offside is the call. Falcons looking to push it down, just not really able to get anything past the Buffs midfield. They look now though, trying to work something out. Try to start to get back in this 3-0 affair if you're just joining us. 3 goals in very short succession for the Buffs so far, as CU Women's Club Silver is off to a dominant start against the Air Force Falcons. Nice little touch there by number 19, trying to maintain the Buffs' control over the contest as we approach 11 minutes to go in the first half. Just not a whole lot of activity once the Falcons get kind of in that attacking third. What do you think can be the cause of that?
Well, I mean, first of all, CU's defense has been locked down. Really great help defense too, which I noted earlier. I mean, that makes a big difference, especially in the game of soccer. When you really can collapse on someone who's trying to move the ball around, it just kind of decreases the opportunity of you know, finding lanes, or better yet, just getting even like good-looking shots. Because as of right now, you know, they haven't been getting the best of shots. But on top of that, CU's midfielders have been actually collapsing really well, playing both sides of the ball great, which forces the Air Force attackers to, you know, have to deal with an extra defender, someone extra to get around, which has been making it really difficult for them to, you know, try and get nice centers or good-looking shots.
So now a goal kicked the way of the Buffs as, again, just absolutely stifling defense so far for Colorado. They've had some good luck on some of their goals, but also some great skill, especially in the second goal. That came the way of Isabella Booman. Or Buman. Maybe that was. I kind of wanted just to do the boom pun. Down the far side, that is Jenna Reed. Now another throw-in. There's been a little bit of sloppy soccer so far. That one is way out of here, over that shed where all the equipment goes. but a Falcon tracks it down and will resume play. Just hounding defense from Allison Sheehan and Leah McGough in the midfield. But the Falcons now, as that ball will go right towards Ryan, tapped out for another throw. Now Falcon falls down. Looks to be okay, but foul awarded. Free kick for Air Force. Not a lot of numbers. Just not quite sure what the strategy is for the Falcons right now. They just seem to be lacking in a lot more white shirts, silver shirts than the blue when they get in that attacking third. It's a credit to the defense of CU, but also makes you wonder if any adjustments could be made at the halftime whistle. Into CU, and a shot by McGough is stopped.
Nice positioning there by the Air Force keeper. Cut off a nice opportunity that CU could have had there to put another one in the back of the net, but her positioning really caused it to be a tough shot for a CU player there.
Tangled around and taken away by CU. Down our far side, 19 looking for a cross. Centering ball is carried back to the edge of the box and away for a throw-in. Pups looking for answers. Still up 3-0 as we hit the 6-minute mark. Left in the first half of play. Looking for a strong finish. Maybe add one more goal to the tally. Sheehan puts that one over, but offside.
If you're Air Force here, you're looking about 5.5 minutes left here in the first half. I mean, really a chance to go and make something with this opportunity to get the ball here on a free kick off the offsides. But, you know, much better going to half 3-1 rather than 3-0. So,
yeah, I mean, 2 is a manageable lead.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, you know, so far they've really been playing super aggressive, so maybe we'll see the defense start to play up a little more and see the midfielders start to get more in the box. But so far it still looks like they're kind of playing conservative, which, I mean, down 3-0, probably not the best strategy, but you never know.
Not the greatest touch there by the Falcons, and Gretchen Lynch takes it away, but back and forth we go as the Falcons look to get on the board, settling down in the Buffs attacking third. And now taken back as the Buffs look to take control and they get it out of there. A little bit of a break here. Throw in taken quickly, but a little bit out of the reach of Obert. Well, we'll set up a corner, I believe. Clock ticking now, under 4 minutes to go in the first half. As the Buffs look to maintain their strong lead over the Air Force Academy. That one popped over. Solid shot from the corner, but not able to convert into anything as Falcons take back over.
Yeah, I really like what CU's actually been doing here to end the half. Been really aggressive, you know, not taking their foot off the gas, which is something you often see in soccer when teams go up. And I mean, by doing that, they've really forced Air Force into a tough position where they're getting tired here having to defend their own side of the field. And when they get down to the side over here for offense, just no energy. Seems honestly just kind of like they're exhausted when they get down here, and it causes some just turnovers, mental mistakes, and
so another goal kick coming from the Falcons. Isabella Booman and Taylor Southey with 2 of the 3 goals today for Colorado. The first of which was a ball kind of pinballed around, ended up in the back of the net. We'll work on during halftime attributing that goal. CU soundly in control and not letting up. The Falcons look for answers. Simmons fends away a defender and gets it back out to Holmes. Buffs will reset, probably looking for one last push in this first half of play. So they'll get a throw in from Obert. Falcon falls down and referee took exception to it. We'll go back Air Force's way. Just about a minute to go here in the first half. Team Silver looking sharp out there against the Falcons. But we still got a long way to go here in this. Cross from our far side into the head of a CU defender, and McGough will clean that one up. Sheehan slowly pushing this one down. Trying to look for the right spot. Reed over to, or intended for, a midfielder in Sheehan, but it'll go back out to the Falcons, and here's a possible opportunity. Number 25 crosses in, but warded away. Solid
nice
block.
backside defense there by CU, collapsing on that middle lane that opened up there when the ball got to the corner.
Yeah, and that was sophomore Ava Paddock.
And I mean, those are the types of plays that, you know, keep it a 3-0 game rather than 3-1. And that's going to be a big deal going into the second half too, making sure they keep up that effort and good help defense.
So that is the first half here at Kidd Field in Boulder. Colorado team Silver leads strong over the Air Force Falcons 3-0. We'll take a quick break for this before the second half of play, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Kittredge Field as Colorado Women's Club Soccer Team Silver leads over the Air Force Falcons 3-0 as we enter the second half of play. Once again, I'm Harrison Simeon, joined by Ryan Asaro. And how do you think this game's going to play out? Do you think the Buffs just blow it open, keep their lead going, or do you think Air Force comes out with some urgency?
I think honestly CU is just gonna keep going with what they've been doing so far. Air Force really hasn't seemed to have a sense of urgency to try and get back in the game. Not great aggression from them either to try and cut the lead, but CU on the other hand has been playing great defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, and more importantly they've been getting a lot of nice looks on net. A lot of open lanes have been happening, and then just forcing mistakes, that's the kind of stuff that separates a team from, being in a tight game to blowing a team out like they are right now. So I guess we'll have to see if Air Force, makes some adjustments, which I'm assuming they will at halftime, coming out, maybe play a little more aggressive, which might change the course of the game. But so far, based on what we've seen, CU has just been dominating.
And the buzzer sounds as the Buffs break the huddle. Air Force about to do so as they'll switch sides, setting the stage for this second half. Looks like it'll be a change in net for Colorado. Only other player listed, it will be Brooklyn Adams, the sophomore from Folsom, California, all the way over to the land of Folsom Field. And from Kittredge Field, we're about to be underway. We were extremely grateful for the tent we have today, because I just stepped out of it for like 2 seconds and I'm already burning. So, really happy. Shout out to Hannah Howell, right? Hannah Howell for this tent we were able to get our hands on. Scope Up Sports correspondent. 45 down, 45 to go as CU starts with the ball. Trying to keep this comfortable lead right where it is. For the Falcons, would take an impressive comeback. You would have to imagine that effort has to start right now.
Yeah, if you're Air Force, you got to be thinking, you probably want a goal here really soon. Obviously, you've been playing 45 minutes, you have 45 left about, and the heat, and then on top of that, you're playing on turf, which is always, as a former sports player who played football on turf, can get very miserable, especially during midday with the heat. So yeah, they got to be thinking, trying to force the ball here, get some good shots, maybe some nice looks on net, and hopefully put one in.
Throw in near midfield. Falcons look to do just that. Maybe, fatigue could become a factor as the Buffs, for the Buffs' aggression at least. Though that high press there works out in their favor. Throw in coming from Tialita. Buffs Team Silver looking for their first win of the year and the first shot on net of the half. Not successful, but encouraging to see for Colorado.
And even though that shot didn't go in, Harrison, that's still a very positive shot because essentially you're still keeping the pressure on Air Force here. And we talked about not letting the foot off the gas before the break, and I mean it's obviously still showing here. Start the second half as they put a nice shot on net, and like I said, even though it doesn't go in, it's still really good for CU as it forces Air Force to have to lock down more on defense, give a lot more effort, which can tire them out as they try to get back in this game here on offense.
Falcons able to stifle that maneuver by the black and gold, and we'll take possession. Falcons looking for something and something fast, as it's really been just almost impossible for them to get a ball on net. And well, that is the case in a lot of games. You always have time to turn it around as they push this one down, but another turnover.
If Air Force is going to try and get back in this game, they're going to have to definitely limit the turnovers here. Too many while trying to create transition plays out of a nice defensive set. As a nice effort down there.
Yeah, that was Obert trying to make something happen, but blocked away, deflected for a goal kick. It was solid pass in that build-up from Ava Paddock. And for Air Force, there really just hasn't been any real build-up. There's just been, kind of aimless passing that hasn't really found much direction or established any form of control over the contest, as Colorado Mesa will walk right behind us as they're set to take on CU Team Black. You can catch all that action right here on our YouTube channel, Scobo Sports.
Yeah, but building off what you were saying a little bit earlier, Harrison, just no flow on offense for Air Force. I mean, it seems every time they get the ball down on CU's side, it's just a turnover or kind of just bad passing, which has just not led to the best shots as they try and get a look here. A nice stop by the goalie.
That one too out in front, and Adams corrals it. Buffs trying to take it the other way, but then a turnover in their own half. Adams can't connect. And just under 5 minutes, or just over 5 minutes into the first half, not a whole lot of activity on either side. There's a ball trying to work the middle of the field. Some inside out played. Number 25 for the Falcons, trying to push it down the corner of the box. Stuffed by Paddock, and the Buffs take control. So extremely eventful day of sports here around CU and around Colorado in general. Obviously, the Rocky Mountain Showdown tonight, but also volleyball plays Cal tonight at the CU Event Center. We'll have social media coverage of that as well. So Lita tries to get that one down the far side. Battle for the ball here. The Buffs can take over. This will be a good opportunity, and thought they might have. Southie looking for a second goal of the game, but blow and whistle, and it'll go back to the Falcons. So 3 CU goals in just about 5 minutes. About a 5-minute span of the first half. Starting by a deflection off a corner kick. And a beautifully played through ball from Isabella Booman. And now a through ball for the Falcons, but Nice heads-up play from Adams to get it away.
Yeah, that's a very smart play by CU's goalie there. Just cutting off the lane, not allowing Air Force to have a good opportunity there to put it in the net.
So finally, maybe the best opportunity yet for Air Force goes by the wayside, but we'll have a free kick lined up now. Buffs loading up the box to protect it. And now here's a shot, but deflected away. Nice play and into the grateful hands of Adams.
Surprisingly, not a lot of Air Force players in that box there, Harrison. You'd think down 3-0, you know, with about 30 minutes left, or 35, excuse me, you probably want to be a little more aggressive there, try and crash the net and see if you can get a deflection or maybe a nice bounce where you can get a shot in.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, they had a good ball, but just not the numbers there to make it work, as Ober just deflected it away and it didn't amount to anything. But now a throw in by our far side and parried away by Simmons. I have noticed in a lot of these pieces, it just looks like the Falcons are playing with less players out there than the Buffs. I mean, it's a strange strategy, obviously relying on the accuracy of the passer.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Definitely mistakes that could be relied on by the Buffs, but really just not a lot of manpower down there to get those kind of plays to work.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to CU's aggression so far this game. I mean, just, you know, I've been forcing a lot of turnovers, really collapsing on the ball too when Air Force is trying to get a nice shot or look. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff where, you know, it's going to force you to make turnovers, and eventually, as we've seen in the case of this game, it's led to some shots and goals. So
a platoon swap for the Buffs. It looked like it's about 4 players checking in and out as they'll fight for possession. Nice little ball played by Southie, but like a handball possibly. So back to the Falcons. Solid block coming from Kaylee Walsh. Force that turnover. Reversing fields here, but it'll roll out of play. That time looking for Paddock. That one battered around. Still not too much activity as we approach the 30-minute mark, slowly but surely. Buff still out to a commanding lead.
nice clear there by CU, forcing Air Force to have to get the ball back in their zone. And once again, it's just another play where you have to put in extra effort just to try and get an offensive set again, which especially down 3-0, I mean, can get really tiring and exhausting.
So I think I have figured out that number 19 is Marley Winston, listed as number 4 here on the roster sheet, but so using some context clues, it's Winston. That was a hard, clear away, but the numbers game just not really ever in the favor of the Falcons right now. As the Buffs take over, here's a through ball, can't find anyone.
Really interesting how Air Force only has one player up top there. Essentially became a 1-on-4 when if they normally, have the attackers that they usually would have up there, it'd be 3-on-3, 3-on-4, which is much better than 1-on-4.
The Falcons look to capitalize. Some favorable position here. And now a long shot. Not really any hope of finding the net there. And Adams will punt this one away. Back to the Falcons trying to pitch it up and over, but no luck. Here comes Colorado. Pretty decent through ball. Can the touch be good enough? It might be. Here's Winston, a shot and a stop.
And while that was a nice shot by CU, also nice defense by Air Force defender there, cutting off the lane and forcing an easy shot for the goalie to get in front of there.
Yeah, made that angle a bit more awkward than it could have been. A pretty nice through ball. Looking for the freshman midfielder from Broomfield. Fight for the ball and stay with the Falcons. Some changing of the guard. Subs for both sides. Here's the Southie and Duty checking out.
Interested to see here. Air Force subbed in a couple new attackers. Maybe see if the fresh legs coming off the bench here, a little less tired, see if maybe they can wreak some havoc down in their offensive zone and maybe get some nice shots on net that can eventually lead to one in the back.
Air Force down our near side. Here comes a cross. Touched around. Blocked away, and Buffs defense keeping the ball out of harm's way and corralled by Adams. So look to maybe be something, a sign of life at least, as Air Force is living on a prayer right now.
Yeah, and if you're Air Force, I mean, obviously the result isn't what you wanted, but you gotta be pretty happy. I mean, that's probably the first time this half that they've actually had a decent look on net.
Here's a ball corralled just out of the reach of Jenna Reed.
Nice play there once again by the Air Force goalie, cutting off angles and really forcing tough looks or shots for CU.
So yeah, maybe some cracks in the armor from both defenses as we finally had some chances this half after a bit of a stretch of where there was a lack of it. CU's defense just tries to play a little keep away. Nice move, Lauren Pecos. That one headed away. Back towards that poor Subaru. The ball land right on top of the hood. Ball back in play as CU will try to keep possession. Nice little maneuver from the Falcons to get out of danger. But a bad touch on the far side leaves it back to Lita. Through ball blocked away. And the Falcons just urgently trying to push something together, as just the numbers, it's just every time the Falcons try to put something together, they just end up becoming outnumbered. As CU's defense has just been rock solid all day, making very little mistakes in terms of just not turning the ball over in their own half, and then even if they do, they've been able to flush out any and all chances that the Falcons have generated so far. Throw in coming for Air Force. Centering ball. They'll go back to their far side, though that one a little bit too far. And it'll head out of play. Bus will take over.
Interesting to see, Harrison. For the first time this game, all Air Force players are playing on their half while on offense here. This is something that has not happened yet until this point in the game. A little interesting that it's coming somewhat late, but maybe we'll see a little more pressure out of them. See offensive sets form a little better, but
Substitution for Colorado. Looks like it'll be Boomin. Goal scorer today, checking back in. Here's the Falcons with some space. Shot. No issue for Adams. That ball's going right towards me, isn't it? It indeed did. It went off our little tent we got going on right now.
Just think if that tent was for you.
Something to be grateful for, especially with the heat. Hottest point in the day here in Boulder. Less than 25 to go, as Air Force is struggling just to get the ball in bounds. But they've had some shots on net. I did note, not very many, if at all. Were they able to make Ruby Holmes work, but Brooklyn Adams, goalkeeper for the second half, had to, be a little bit more alert. Has made some sharp plays in net. Have been forced to because of the push from the Falcons. Here's a ball deflected around, popped up in the air. Falcons trying to maintain it, and a blown whistle now.
chance here for Air Force to capitalize on what I believe was a penalty. Is that what they call it in soccer here?
Well, yeah, just
get a free
foul
kick here. I assume they probably have their best option trying to make this kick here. Probably trying to get a shot rather than maybe a pass, but it's important for these Air Force players to crash the net after this shot here. You never know, sometimes you might get a nice deflection that can help you put it in.
free kick goes well high into the parking lot. And a goal kick for Colorado.
I have one in my
Colorado trying to get it out of their own end. Back to the Falcons, though.
Once again, just a nice clear by CU's defense. Something I've been really impressed with today. Just clearing the ball out. And I said the same earlier today, but just kind of living to see another day rather than taking the risk and having an opportunity of the ball being in the back of your net. Interesting to see here, though. CU hasn't really had amazing offensive presence so far this half. Maybe we'll see if they'll get a little more aggressive. Maybe try and set something up and get a nice shot on net to truly put this game away.
Colorado waiting on their numbers to head down and the substitutions to come in for the Falcons before this little free kick. Still no one to find the net in the second half. Buffs scoring on Ash. It was Isabella Boomin and Taylor Southey's goals, along with a deflected ball that weren't quite able to get attributed. That ball out of bounds. Throw in for CU. Taken back. Nice play in the midfield from Jacqueline Demers. Senior from Los Angeles, California. Here's a long ball in. Played well by the defense. Buffs trying to move it down the far side. Boomin really taking on Air Force defense and falls down. No whistle. Solid effort, and now appears we'll have a stoppage and another timeout. So players will head to their respective sidelines. 3-0. Team Silver for Colorado leads the Air Force Falcons. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. That's fine. We're back for the final 19 minutes and 51 seconds of this game. A Colorado corner coming up after a long run from Isabella Boomin. Forced ball out, but off of the Falcons. So a chance for CU to extend their lead even further, up to 4-0 finally. Possibly get some action here in the second half. Corner in and caught by Air Force's keeper.
I know Air Force's keeper is given up 3. I mean, I'd probably argue that 2 of them really aren't her fault, but I'm pretty impressed with how she's been cutting off angles, kind of taking away some opportunities where CU could have easily capitalized, that being one of them previously.
Good job from Ava Paddock to take that one away. She'll throw it in. Stick around after this game. We'll have, as we see warming up, Colorado Mesa come to town to take on CU Team Black. And we'll see what can result from that. Team Black also just a few games into their regular season. Had a tie with Team Silver to start each of their regular seasons. Paddock has it deflected out. Stop play for some more Falcon substitutes. Paddock looking and finding Mago. Mago slipping through the defense. Cross in and fended away. Now a huge kick. Both players going down. Everybody's falling everywhere.
Thought we were watching hockey there for a second, Harris, and that was a pretty physical play there in the middle. Something you usually don't see in soccer, but kind of love to see physicality. Adds to the game.
It'll amount to a Colorado free kick as Ava Paddock will set this one up. This one just pitched in and just tapped over the bar. Nice play from the Air Force keeper. That one just kind of floating, wasn't quite sure where it was going to go.
Yeah, it seems like Air Force's keeper might have got a piece of that to prevent it from going in the back of their net.
Huge deflection, but this corner's in. Back to Paddock. High ball that'll be a bit too much on it. And head out of bounds for a goal kick. Goal kick for the Falcons. Finds a teammate. Trying to just finally put a crowbar in this back line for CU, but unable to. Here's a through ball. There's actually more of a shot. Can't find anything. And as the Buffs try to wind this one down, as we approach 15 minutes to go, it's a good time to shout out everybody that came out, helped out with the broadcast. We got Kieran over there, did some play-by-play, did some color, and a little bit of everything. Running the camera right now. We had Remy and Aspen out here, taking some shots for photography, and Nick Evans, our live broadcast and graphics manager, running the shots behind the scenes. Running the shots, that's not a phrase. Calling the shots behind the scenes. And of course, next to me is Ryan Asaro, and I'm Harrison Simeon. You're watching C Women's Club Soccer action. Any thoughts as we approach the home stretch of this one, Ryan?
Really just impressed with CU's defense throughout this whole game. Haven't let up. Play really great help defense. I mean, as you go down season, play some better teams, that's going to really be a factor in helping them win some games here, as they almost have a big turnover that could have led to a score.
Yeah, a bit of a slow ball from Adams.
But really, I mean, great communication. Obviously, offense this half hasn't been the same as before, but, you know, they're up 3-0, so it's not a huge deal. But as they go down the road and play some better teams and eventually get into tournaments and bigger games, the stuff that they've done today will definitely carry over, communication being a big part of that, as well as the defense.
Falcons looking to piece something together, but the Buffs take it away. Nice little ball down the side, but too far. And Falcons will put some nice touch on it and try to get it back in CU's half, but Ava Paddock had something to say about that. Excellent day from the defender.
CU almost gives up a opportunity for Air Force to capitalize there on a loose ball. Thankfully, the goalie's well aware and gets in the way of that one.
Throw in coming for Air Force. Trying to lob it over. Still just can't find any offensive real creativity. Seems like the same result essentially every time they go down the field. Just not quite able to make the right passes. Not a lot of off-ball movement to maybe find space, but this pass from Adams, another somewhat lazy one. But not able to be handled by Air Force, and Buffs will retain possession. There's a nice ball. Here comes Winston. Down our near side looking for a cross. Just ends up putting it on net. Collected by Air Force. Now a turnover. Here's an opportunity. And almost a chance off the deflection off the goalkeeper's hands, but she's able to make the play, keep that one from the head into the back of the net.
As Air Force goes forward with their season, they're definitely going to have to obviously make some adjustments on defense. Too many open lanes, especially in the middle, which is the prime position for attackers to score. And if they definitely, you know, want to turn their season around and have different results than they did last season, they're going to have to look into maybe adjusting how they play when the ball's on their side of the field.
Corner kick incoming for the Buffs. Possible opportunity. Make this lead insurmountable. Just over 10 minutes to play. That ball in and tipped and almost, but just wide. Southie looking for her second goal today, just sticking her leg up, trying to put it in, but maybe a better strategy would have been to go for the header.
I don't know about you, Harrison, but it seems every corner kick they've had so far today, I mean, placed perfectly. Always kind of in that back post area. And they've had a ton of opportunities. They scored earlier once on a corner kick, but I mean, once again, that's another thing going forward this season. I mean, corner kicks are something you can really capitalize on and take advantage, and just impressed with the placement of ball there and the opportunities they've been able to get off of that.
Yeah, I mean, they've had plenty of corner kicks. I mean, that's showing that they're getting the ball in the goalie box and in favorable positions as Air Force tries to come the other way. Falcons looking for any form of solace right now, as it would be hard to imagine them scoring 3 in the next 9 minutes. But stranger things have happened. Buffs working the far side once again. That one's placed right towards us. It'll head to the bleachers left to the right of us. And we'll go the way of the Falcon. Back to see you after foot was on the line. Eight more minutes to glory for CU Silver's first win on the ledger. It's been an impressive defensive showing, not letting any cracks form in the armor. And they've just been pretty thoroughly dominant, despite no goals scored in the second half. You know, they've gotten 3, but 1 is all they've needed so far.
Yeah, and credit to the 0 goals this half for CU. Air Force defense definitely stepped up this half. With that being said, though, it's been pretty evident that the energy they've been spending to try and stop CU's offense down here has led to them having less energy as they try and make an attack on offense.
Some substitutions incoming for the Falcons as we hit the 7-minute mark. Last year Air Force didn't face Team Silver, but did face Gold and Black, losing 2-1 Team Gold and 1-0 to Team Black. But haven't, possibly wondering if they could, when they finally face Silver, could that story change at all? So far, it hasn't looked like it will. Long throw in by the Falcons. Turned over again, though. Buffs going out wide, trying to get a cross in, but Winston not able to beat the defender. She'll have a throw in now. Buffs looking for one last goal, the finishing touches on this contest. Here's a ball in. Centering pass, not able to find anyone. Defended away by the Falcons. Here's a chance. Air Force finally with a little bit of numbers if they can push. And they'll put a ball out, but look to be offside, and it is. Didn't look like 25 even knew the ball was coming until she looked to her just left and saw it there. Players pretty much running on fumes at this point. Though plenty of shifts in and out for Air Force.
I can't stay for the last game. I thought I was going to be able to, but I can't.
210 seconds left to play. Here at Kit Field is possible breakaway opportunity. Here's a pass. Looking for Nehart. Back to another Buff, but it is stopped. Southie had a chance. Just not quite enough on it to give her what could have been her second goal of the day.
Yeah, nice offensive transition there off of a turnover from CU. Once again, their defense really stepping up, forcing a turnover, and then getting the ball into the open field for their attackers and midfielders to go chase, which led to an opportunity there. And credit to Air Force defense, you know, down 3-0. Obviously, you could have just given up on that, but
Corner kick to the back post and just whiffed by Winston. But now back to the corner. Looking for the Buffs. They'll put it in and a stop on the near post. And she'll dive on it. Nehart looking for her first goal of the day. And Air Force really just impossible. It's been almost an impossibility to keep possession, but now almost forcing Adams to make another mistake, but they get it away. Winston chasing this one down. She'll collect it. Keeper trying to get out there, and she makes it first. So solid day, especially in the second half. Defensive effort, especially from Air Force's keeper, has been sharper than some of the lapses they had in the first half. Though offense, not able to say the same. So we're about 1 minute and 15 seconds out from this game being called. A big win going forward for the Buffs, just to get off to a nice start. 2 games unbeaten. So they'll look for that one over the top. Look for Winston once more. And for Team Silver, next week they'll head to University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, face them on the road before returning, not for quite a while, to Boulder to face University of New Mexico. So a bit of a road trip for the next month or so for the Silver squad. And that will do it. Colorado Silver takes down with very little effort the Air Force Falcons by a score of 3-0. Any closing thoughts, Ryan?
Just a great overall performance by CU. I mean, second half, obviously, no goals on offense, but they also, at the same time, remained keeping the shutout, which is always something to be proud of when you have a big goose egg on the board for the opposing team. And, I mean, really just great defense all around today for 90 whole minutes. And, yeah, looking forward to the games that they have coming up, and I'm sure their defensive presence will really help them against some tougher teams that they'll be playing here in the future.
So that will just about do it. The sheet as clean as you could get it for Silver. Excellent defensive performance. And for everyone here at Skillball Sports, we'll call this one. We'll be back for CU Team Black to face University of Colorado Mesa. So alongside